Hey everyone and welcome back to HipHop Noise. Today we're going to be talking about the king of rap himself, Eminem. Make sure you stay to the end to find out what the future of Eminem's career is looking like. Is it retirement time for Eminem? Let's take a look at why Slim Shady himself may have decided to walk away from rap. Choosing what to call it quits is an important question for any celebrity, from athletes to movie stars. While some just want to keep going until they drop dead, others choose a specific high point in their career to stop, and then there are those whose career put them to a stop because they've lost whatever made them special in the first place. So, which case is Eminem? The answer might not be so simple. Before the release of his latest album, Kamikaze, many fans were wondering whether Marshall Mathers really had anything left to contribute to the rap game. His past few albums hadn't been particularly well received, but with the arrival of Kamikaze, things changed. Eminem seemingly reaffirmed his position as a king of rap, or at the very least, one of the greats. So does this mean Eminem should continue now that he's found some acclaim and widespread recognition again? Well, not necessarily. Perhaps Kamikaze could be Eminem's last rodeo, a high to go out on. It doesn't seem like he really has much more to prove, which has been one of the driving forces of his career in the past. He likes proving people wrong. The underdog position motivates him. Many people wondered what Eminem would do after Kamikaze. Would he keep the ball rolling and produce some more classics? He did some collaborations with Logic and Fat Joe, for example. Then he released the album Music to be Murdered By in early 2020. This one included tracks dissing some other rappers, which he had issues with, like Machine Gun Kelly.
Okay, that's fine. People can talk crazy about me. That's fine. They should express themselves, and they have a right to. But I also get to say whatever the fuck I want about you now.
But he also received praise for lyrics talking about the dangers of gun violence. The album sold over 100,000 copies, and he got to the top of the Billboard 200, setting a record for consecutive #1 albums. This all sounds great, but the reception of the album wasn't all positive. There were some mixed reviews, and many thought some of the songs on the album kind of rehashed what we found on Kamikaze. Was this new album just an attempt to remain relevant a while longer? This new album didn't do as well as Kamikaze in sales or in critical reaction, so perhaps his relevancy is already in decline again. Maybe Eminem can only succeed when he's coming back to the game as an underdog. It's no secret that Marshall had a rough childhood. When he was young, his mother moved around a lot for work, so he always felt like an outsider. Maybe those are the circumstances in which he thrives the most. During his time in Detroit, he became part of the underground rap scene. This is where he proved himself, taking part in rap battles. He eventually put together his first mixtape, which Dr. Dre heard, and the rest is history. Over the years, Eminem has garnered a lot of accomplishments, critical acclaim, and commercial success, with hit songs and #1 hit albums as well. The guy's had a great career, and that continues to this day, and his net worth is at $320 million. Not bad, and all of that in about 20 years. Many would say this is a good reason to stop. Now, call it a day after 2 decades of what most people can't achieve in an entire life. Most musicians, rappers, and artists in general are in a constant battle to stay on top of their game and on top of the game, to have contend with industry, the audience, and themselves. But Eminem in a point in his career where he doesn't really need to fight anymore. Everybody recognizes his talent, even if his albums can be hit or miss sometimes. What's really left for him to accomplish?
Old M is back, and he's too old to be the old M. He can't do it. Like, no matter what, when I zigged, I should have zagged.
Well, it seemed as though Eminem wasn't ready to just stop and let a new generation of rappers take over. In fact, he's had a beef with the new generation, notably what we call mumble rappers. Mumble rap is a kind of subgenre that has emerged over the past 5 years or so. Many of the old school lyrical rappers aren't big fans of this new style. For lyrical rappers, a song is a story you tell. It conveys deep emotions and messages that fans can connect with, whereas mumble rappers seem to focus more on simple beats and controversial lyrics that are just used to make a name for themselves. And in Kamikaze, Eminem had his feelings about this genre very clear. But is this a fight that he can actually win? Is it really worth beefing with these younger rappers? This style of rap clearly isn't going anywhere, and it's really popular. But Eminem hasn't just been picking fights with the younger generation. He's also been opening up old wounds again, like his beef he had with Nick Cannon in 2019 with regards to their relationships with Mariah Carey. Many fans weren't too pleased with this. It seemed like a strange thing to bring up again, and the two of them went back and forth, but nobody really cared that much about this drama, especially seeing as both of them are past their primes. Maybe diss tracks are a young man's game.
Making diss song after diss song, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
While the first half of Eminem's career was pretty much success after success, his output in the 2010s wasn't so consistent. This was mainly due to his substance abuse issues and the fallout from this and how it changed his worldview. His subsequent albums dealt with a new outlook and his changed mentality, and at first fans were supportive because they wanted to see him do well. But with the release of this 2017 revival, fans had seemingly lost interest. The reception was polarized, and it was like the audience just wasn't there for Eminem anymore. So he took a bit of a hiatus to rethink things. However, now that he's returned with some successful records, has he achieved what he wanted to achieve? Has he produced a few last great tracks now that he can bow out? What do you think? Are his latest controversies and beefs a sign that Eminem should retire from rap? Is he still at the top of his game, or are his best years behind him? Let us know in the comments below and be sure to subscribe to HipHop Noise.